Fellas, Neil again. Now we're going to be working on adding sprites to the Brave Frontier Twitch extension. If you already haven't watched the first video regarding installing the plugin, would highly recommend that. That way you have all the available assets and you're not lost as you go along with the video. Now, since I currently already have a set amount of units added in with sprites, everybody that is a part of the team will be assigned their own group, whether that's unit 8000 through 100 or unit 301 through 400. Everybody will be working on their own batch that is involved. If not, we'll just be tackling each group as we go down the list. Now, adding the sprites, we're going to want to right click, add, media source, and then whatever unit you're working on, that is the unit that you're going to punch in here. So for me, I'm currently at number 43, which is Bernie. So again, right click, add, media source, number 43, Bernie. Sprite. Definitely include the sprite at the end because that'll make my side a lot easier as far as coding and making sure all the functionality works in the long run. Make sure you click loop below the local file. That way it's easier for you to resize and shape accordingly. And then you're going to want to hit browse. Then we're going to go back to C drive, program files, Brave Frontier plugin. Then we are going to go to the Thix library pull, Brave Frontier 1, and then you're going to find the correct number corresponding with that unit, the number 43, Bernie. Click that, okay. And now we have Bernie on the screen. Now we're going to want to resize Bernie to match up with the summoning pedestal. So we can click Alt and left click to drag and resize the window as needed. So we won't need any of the Brave Frontier stuff, just Bernie and his sprite. And we also want to make sure not to cut off any of the animation as well. That way we're not missing any of the full detail. So I'll resize to shape. And we'll say that this is moderately accurate as far as like size and shape goes. So we're going to want to move Bernie as close to the middle as we can. You can use the arrow keys on your keyboard to get it as center as you can to the center of the pedestal. Then once you're done with that, go back to your sources and just click lock. That way, anytime you try and grab Bernie or go and resize another unit or hero, you will not be messing with any of the characters below it. Same thing as for other heroes as well. They're all locked inside the group, but no matter how many times you click, you will not be able to drag them unless they are unlocked. Now, some characters are going to look a lot larger, some are going to look a lot smaller. The end goal of what I can say is try to make them fit, but not be too overwhelming. So, for example, Bernie is a small character, doesn't have a whole lot going on in terms of vertical animation or horizontal animation. So we can afford to make him a bit bigger. Whereas Vargas, on the other hand, he has a lot of vertical motion, so it's cool to have him do his attack and have it overlay on top of the chat, but at the same time we don't want it to overly disrupt the flow of stream and chat and make it into too big of a distraction. So then we can look at Fire God Vargas as well as another example. Granted, Fire God Vargas is a 5-star, so we want to show that, you know, there's more going on. There's a more meaningful effect happening. So his sprite is a bit larger from normal Vargas, and there's a lot more going on with his sprite, and he essentially does a bigger attack on the chat. So we'll keep that as is. Same thing with Bernie. He's not too big in scale, so we can afford to make him a bit bigger. That way, anybody that is watching can see more of his detail without it being too much on screen and overwhelming in the long run. Overall, I would say try to not have the unit drastically exceed the summoning pedestal size. Try and keep them as close to the center as you can, as well as try and maybe not have their head peek too much farther up from the chat background. Which I would say maybe where the summoning gate is at is a good measuring point. So this line here. Other than that, that is pretty much it. You're ready to start adding units on your own accord. So once you are done a unit, I would recommend clicking the eye. I wouldn't even recommend it. I would say please click the eye to hide the unit. That way, when anybody does import the extension on their own end, they're not going to load up 100,000 different sprites, therefore increasing the chance that OBS on their end will crash. So make sure you toggle the eye off, hide Bernie, and then we're going to want to move Bernie into the group units 1 through 100. Since he's number 43, put him right below Mifune, toggle him off, and that's it. We're done. Now we can move on to the next unit, which would be King Bernie, then Squirty, then so on, and it all follows the exact same process. Unit number, name, sprite, go to the Sir Thix data dump for Brave Frontier 1, Thix library pull, Brave Frontier 1, grab the number, grab the sprite, number 45, Squirty. Like I said before, shape, resize, match to the pedestal, show off the detail, try not to cut off too much animation, and overall, if any changes need to be made, I'll make them in the final product, but I appreciate everybody that is willing to help out with this project and speed things up. You guys are amazing. Once we have more of the sprites done, I'll be making another video regarding the summon info, which will be the unit thumbnail and the quotes to go along with it all. Yeah. Again, I appreciate everybody that's helping out. If you'd like to learn more about the project or become involved, join the Discord down below, grab the Brave Frontier Twitch team role, or if you have any more questions, feel free to ping me at Neil in the Discord, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Appreciate it, guys. Take care.